Coming up on show 780, looks like Tesla's going to build Cybertrucks and Model Ys at their Texas Gigafactory. No, sorry, Terrafactory. What? Stick around and I'll tell you more. Plus on the show today, Elon has posted about Battery Day. That looks like it's moving back a little bit. The first electric car to surpass 200 miles an hour on the Dragster quarter mile. It's been done, it's in the books. But what did it? Well, I'll tell you. A new EV flagship store opening up in Paris. And how is the Fiat 500 electric car, the new one, selling? Well, maybe a little bit too well if you were hoping to bag yourself one. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're listening around the world. Welcome to EV News Daily. This is what's happened on Saturday, 16th of May. My name is Martyn Lee, and I go through every EV story so you don't have to. Elon's been posting on Twitter, obviously, about Tesla's Battery Day that now looks like it's going to be a couple of events. Firstly, it's going to be pushed back because of all the ongoing situation, and it's going to be split into two by the looks of it, a live stream and an in-person event. Well, that's fine by me. Just live stream it. If you've got some technology to announce, you got some things you can tell us, finally, and we've been putting pieces of the jigsaw together, but if you can make it all make sense for us, just live stream it. What are you going to miss out by doing a live stream? Well, you'll miss out on an audience of adoring Elon fans that whoop and cheer and clap at the end of every sentence, and I can live without that. I want to hear what he's got to say, the technology that the superbrains at Tesla have been working on, what it means for the industry, and how nervous all of the other car makers should or shouldn't be at the end of this. I can quite happily live without the live element of it, but he is a showman, and I'm sure that if they could have done a live event, they would want to, but many places, not sure about where he would hold the event, whether it's California, although he seems to be hating on California right now, but wherever they hold it, many places are coming out of lockdown, but still have rules on how large gatherings can be, and so with social distancing as well, it would look a little bit odd, a bit like, you know, Trump press conferences when you see all the press 2 meters apart wearing face masks. Then, you know, would he want to do an event like that? Would it take away anything? Would people be talking about that rather than the actual content? So I understand, live stream it, we can't wait to hear. Battery Day, if it's the live stream, it's going to outline the company's future plans for their batteries, and what all of the recent acquisitions, Highbar and Maxwell, and the deals that they've done recently with the Korean company, which is all about cell production, are Tesla going to become a cell producer in their own right? Or are they going to be working with someone else? All the smart money at the moment is going on Tesla becoming a cell producer, which they'll make into their own battery packs. Been doing amazing things since the start with Panasonic. Of course, they've built out Gigafactory in Nevada, although really that hasn't changed a lot in the last few years after a very, very rapid build out there in Nevada. It was meant to be getting bigger and bigger every year. It hasn't actually changed if you look at the overhead satellite spy shots too much, but they've kind of been busy with other things, whether it's working with Panasonic or CATL now in China for the base model 3 with the new batteries, which are cobalt free and a bit cheaper as well. Or are they going to do it on their own? With a partner or on their own? We don't know. There's also the key number that gets thrown around of $100 per kilowatt hour at pack level. Let me explain that if you're new to the podcast. There's kind of two phrases or two ways of thinking about it. Firstly, battery packs are made up of lots of cells, and Tesla kind of have this intermediate stage as well. They make them into modules. Lots of battery makers do. It's what they've always done, but they want to get away from it. So you have the cells, which is an individual cell. In their case, little cylindrical cells, not prismatic or pouch cells. They, at the moment, make them into modules. They put those modules into battery packs, and within the pack, then you need to obviously have the metal case around it and the thermal management, pipes and fluid and inverters and all those kind of things, electronics, BMS and all that. A lot of time you put that all into a battery pack, and that's what you call pack level. So whether you believe or not that Tesla's hit $100 per kilowatt hour, some people say they have after a few things Elon said, at cell level they haven't hit it at pack level, and that's what they're aiming for. Now lots of people have also said for years, when EVs get to $100 per kilowatt hour, price parity with petrol and diesel cars, and all of a sudden people will be able to buy those for the same price. I don't buy that. Firstly, because of the convenience of it. Like, if it was $102 or $97, it would fit with my brain. But 100, it's too convenient, too much of a round number. And also, we know that EVs at the moment, we're not far off in Tesla's case, and they're nowhere near the same price as equivalent petrol and diesel cars. We know that some car makers can't even make an EV for a profit yet, although Tesla are, and actually increasing the margins on their automotive business. So rather than being at 5 or 10 or 15% margins and saying, okay, look, we've made the cars cheaper, so we'll reduce the sticker price, they're saying we've got a product that everybody wants, we're going to make more money. And they are indeed profitable and making money. Already have Model Y as well, which is new and kind of crazy when you think about it. So whether these cells allow for cheaper EVs or just for Tesla to make more money, I mean, look, if everyone wants your product, then make hay while the sun shines. Elon tweeted this: "We're going to have to push out the date or attendance will be very low. Maybe do in 2 parts, webcast next month and in-person event a few months later." So now we're looking at June for the first part of Battery Day. Really, really interesting to think about what they're going to say, when that will be actually in cars. Will it be for cars in China? Will it be for the new Model SX at the end of the year? Will it be for Roadster and semi-truck and Cybertruck? We just don't know any of those details yet. I'll pop a link to TEslarati in the show notes. Got some interesting things to say about it. Well, Tesla's narrowed down the home of its next factory to either Tulsa or Austin, according to the Associated Press. Tesla boss Elon Musk has stated he wants to see an extremely aggressive timeline for the factory, breaking ground soon, and Model Y units rolling off the assembly line by the end of 2020, says Jalopnik, and that is not a typo. I didn't mean 2021. By the end of this year. Right. We're in the middle of coming out of this COVID crisis, and he wants to be making cars in a brand new factory by the end of the year. Well, if anyone can do it, they know how to build factories quickly. The report indicates a team of engineers from Nevada Gigafactory have been dispatched to Austin to draw up plans for the new Terafactory location. Oh, more than a Gigafactory. It's a Terafactory. And yeah, I've been saying this on the podcast for ages, for as long as anyone will listen. It's going to be in Texas. Mine was made up a long time ago. All of this fake bidding war with governors and mayors tweeting Elon like Florida, pick me, pick me, pick me. This fake bidding war just gives them a more beneficial deal with Texas if there is perceived competition for it. But for months, it's obviously it's going to. SpaceX is in Texas. It's for many reasons to do with access to talent and university graduates and lots of little things. You put the pieces of the jigsaw together, the ability to get great talent in those areas to do the kind of work that Tesla need, makes a lot of sense. So, knowing my luck, tomorrow morning they announce it's not in Texas, but been saying for a long time it's absolutely bound to be. Well, the first electric car to do 200 miles an hour in the quarter mile is now in the books. Drag racing legend Don Garlitz set the record for the quickest EV in the quarter mile last year. Now then, took an EV dragster down the strip at Palm Beach with an elapsed time of 7.235 at 189 miles an hour. Now, the enthusiast Steve Huff just broke that record with his own electric car. It's an electric dragster, so exactly what you think a drag car to be. He hasn't done it in, a car that you can go buy on the street, for instance. So the huge rear wheels with the sticky rubber and exactly what you think of a drag car, right? Setting a trap speed of 201 miles an hour. Did in Arizona, says the Road and Track website. The run was done at the Tucson Dragway in Arizona, and making his car, which he's called Current Technology, the fastest four-wheel electric vehicle to ever do a quarter mile and the first to cross the 200 mile an hour barrier. Pop a link in the show notes to the video if you want to watch it on YouTube. It's great to see their celebrations. They're cracking open the champagne afterwards. He collapses on the ground, not in a bad way, but just out of sheer relief to do 200 miles an hour on the quarter mile in a pure EV. It is crazy because this thing takes off in silence. I mean, apart from the squeal of the rubber, but that's you so used to watching drag videos over the years with just the rumble and the sound and all of the drama and theatre, and the EV just gets on with it in silence and with just pure electric power. Amazing thing to watch. And I'll pop a link, like I say, in the show notes if you want to have a look for yourself. Let's talk about this new flagship store that's opening in Paris. MG, the British car brand, these days is owned by the SAIC Motor Company. A Chinese company bought the MG brand, the right to use their name. They opened a flagship store in Paris last week, expanding into a key European market despite the coronavirus pandemic going on here right now, according to Automotive News Europe, who write that the four-level store, huge four-level store in Paris, near the upmarket French department store of Galeries Lafayette, will initially sell the MG ZS EV. A full electric, made by SAIC, but with an MG badge. They're made in China and shipped to Europe. They started selling them in Europe last September. France is going to be the fourth country to sell them. You can get them here in the UK, I think, for about £25,000. Netherlands, you can get them there. You get them in Norway and now in France as well. Well, coming here to the UK, estimated that as of the 1st of January this year, there were about 800 rapid charging points located within an easy reach of our motorway and A-road system. Well, by 2023, the UK government want to have at least 6 open access points, and by that they mean at least 150 kilowatt charge speeds. So, at every service area on motorways and A-roads, they want 6 of them, and for all 6 to be at least 150 kilowatt charging, and that is by 2023. At the busiest locations, a minimum of 10 to 12 chargers, says Driving Electric. Well, back in September last year of 2019, the government revealed plans for a £400 million investment in rapid chargers, part of a £500 million plan for implementing green technologies. The vast majority of that is going into putting in rapid charging at the places that we need them when doing road trips. And in London, coming out of the virus situation, the capital is unlocking, or it's called TfL, Transport for London. TfL is resuming service on things like the underground and the buses, and the opening goes hand in hand with an increase, well, firstly a resumption, but also an increase in the congestion and the ULEZ, now, which is ULEZ, the ultra low emission zone. We call it the ULEZ zone, but the ultra low emissions zone, and of course you don't pay if you have an electric car. Both were suspended to allow key workers and hospital healthcare workers to move around the capital during COVID free of charge, but now, says Electrive, the congestion charge is back and it's going up to £15 from £11.50. TfL plans are going to create more space for social distancing when walking and cycling. I've already seen them start to do that as well. New cycle lanes have cropped up overnight in the capital, and that's a good thing. When we lived in London, I used to bike around central London a lot, and that is not for the faint-hearted. People who have no choice but to return to work and who can't work from home, they hopefully can use not necessarily public transport, but if you can use your bike, TfL are trying to block off roads, and actually going forward as well, they want to use this as an opportunity, find a silver lining from this situation, to actually have car-free zones in London, to have the largest car-free zones in any capital city in the world. So not just combustion engine free, but EV free as well. And you know what, in some parts of London that's really badly needed. Right, last couple of stories today. According to the head of Fiat and Abarth brands in Europe, Luca Napolitano, I don't know why I hesitated over that, he says very few of the new Fiat 500s are even left on sale because everybody wants one. It's called the Fiat 500 La Prima edition. It's the first one. It's got all the bells and whistles, and every European Union country that is going to get one is getting 500 of this La Prima version. 26 countries, 13,000 units of the electric 500 being assigned as inside EVs, and there's not many of them left. People keep putting deposits down for them because they just love them. Well, prices for the cheaper versions, there are cheaper versions coming, by the way, are coming. Well, we don't know what they are just yet, and other markets of where it will be offered are in the pipeline. Plenty of people saying, please send it to the USA because we would love that car here. Yeah, Fiat 500, fully designed, looks very much like a Fiat 500, as in the styling's the same as the compliance car, the old EV, but this has been designed from the ground up and hasn't been converted from a combustion car, pure electric car, from the very first pencil mark on the drawing board. And that's what we want to hear. Finally, Volkswagen isn't shy of its future EV plans. I mentioned this story in passing recently, but got some more details now, with a new report saying that Volkswagen will include the R brand being fully electric. So, according to Car Scoops, the story here is that anything R branded within VW is going to be the performance bit of the electric brand rather than the fast fossils. According to Top Gear as well, VW Group board member Jürgen Stackmann says the future R models will be exciting but also electric. The future of the R brand has kicked off already with a plug-in hybrid with the Touareg R. That pairs an engine with a really nice electric system, 130 horsepower motor, 14.1 kilowatt hour battery pack, and to provide a really exciting R version of the Touareg. And that's great, that's good. We want as many petrol heads as possible to realise that electric vehicles, they're just better. Alright, on tomorrow's show we'll read out your answers to question of the week, your favourite charging app and route planner, please. Reading that out on Sunday's show. You can email me about anything you like. The address is hello@evnewsdaily.com, or leave a comment in the YouTube show notes. Not show notes, comments, things. Oh god, it's late. My brain is very slowly shutting down. Right, let's talk about our premium partners of Patreon. Patreon partners are Phil Roberts of Electric Future, Brad Crosby, Avid Technology, Brightsmith Group for Clean Tech Talent, Porsche of the Village Cincinnati, and Audi of Cincinnati East. If you're looking for things to watch, by the way, Bjorn Nieland in Norway has got himself the small battery Porsche Taycan and is putting it through its paces. Looking forward to seeing his range test videos on that. And also, how many banana boxes can you get in the boot? Looking forward to finding out. If you want to get in touch with the show, please find me on socials by searching EV News Daily. Check out any of the previous 779 shows in the archive on the blog at evnewsdaily.com. Have a wonderful day. Catch you tomorrow. And remember, there is no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.